Here are practice set 6, and it all involves trigonometry. Okay, practice set 6. Question number 1. You better know, for this entire test, you better know what sine, cosine, and tangent is. Sine is side opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent. So, they give you, and you better know the Pythagorean theorem. It says, given that the tangent of this angle, in reference to this location right here, the side, it says tangent, so this is side opposite, and this is the adjacent. So we're going to put a 3 here and a root 55 here. They want to know what is the sine of this angle. So sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So what do you have to do to figure out this side right here? The Pythagorean theorem, which says the two legs squared added together is equal to the hypotenuse squared. So you get 9 plus 55, which is 64, and take the square root, c is 8. So in reference to this angle, sine is 3 over 8, which is A.
That's what I wanted to on the top, so we didn't know it was different with there.
Oh, no saying.
That's why it was different.
Okay, good. Number 2. Number 2, same thing. What'd you guys get for an answer on number 2?
J.
J. Tell me how you did it.
I did it.
You guessed. You're going to name this side 4 and 13. So 4 squared plus b squared is 13 squared. So 16 plus b squared is 169. Subtract 16 from 169, you get 153. Square root both sides. And this, if you factor out, you've got 153. If you take out a 3, you get 51. Take out another 3, you get 17. So this is 3 root 17. So this side is 3 root 17. So the cosine is 3 root 17 over 13, bless you, which is J.
Could you just look at it and say it was cosine, so 13 had to be in the denominator, so you can't, it has to be that one?
Yes.
I thought it was
It's cosine, it's adjacent over, this says sine, so you're going to put a 4 here and 13 here. Cosine is adjacent.
No.
Okay, next one, same thing, number 3. What'd you guys get for this answer? B. If you got B, you are correct. Because cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So this side, when you do the Pythagorean theorem, you do 2 squared plus b squared equals 3 squared. You get 9. 9 minus 4 is 5, and the square root of 5 is that side right there. So what is the tangent? Would be opposite over adjacent, root 5 over 2. Number 4. This is an identity that we will be working with in chapter 9. We're not there yet. But if you had to guess, it says the sine, it says sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta equals 1. And they give you that the cosine of theta is 1/2. By substituting, do you think you know what to do? Even though you guys didn't learn this yet, you're going to put 1/2 in here, and you're going to square this. So anyone know what to do next? What do you get when you square 1/2? You get 1/4. Then do you think you know what to do next? Subtract 1 minus 1/4 is 3/4. Now, what would you do if it said x squared? Square root. And what's the square root of this? It'd be root 3 over 2. Where's the answer? J. It wasn't that bad, was it? Okay, number 5 is easy also. So they give you this point on this ray right here. If you were to draw a line going down a right angle, this side is 3 and this is 3 because it's saying over 3 and up 3. So what kind of triangle are you talking about here, where the both of these sides are the same? 45. So what would this be? 3 root 2. Okay, so now they want sine. What's the definition of sine? Opposite over hypotenuse. What happened? Whoops, that's a 2. That's a 2. 3 root 2. The 3's cancel, so you have 1 over root 2. And what's another name for 1 over root 2?
Root 2.
The 3's cancel, yes, and you get 1 over root 2. And what's another name for 1 over root 2?
Root 2.
Root 2 over 2, which is C. Okay, number 6. They gave you this, which was unnecessary. I just want to talk about that for a second. Did you know, I don't know if you learned this in geometry, but did you know that tangent is sine over cosine? And if you didn't, you know it now.
Yeah.
Did you know tangent is sine over cosine?
Yeah.
So this is what they gave you, which is totally unnecessary. Has nothing to do with the actual problem. If I say tangent is sine over cosine, if I substituted sine over cosine right here, do you know what to do with these cosines?
Cancel.
Cancel. And so what they're saying is sine is equal to sine. It's like saying 1 equals 1, 2 equals 2. So this was like unnecessary. Who cares? Who cares what that meant? So go to this right here. This is given to you. Draw a triangle and make a theta right there. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. What are you going to do to find this side? A squared plus b squared equals c squared. So a squared is equal to 16 minus 7. What's 16 minus 7? 9. What's the square root of 9? 3. So what is the cosine would be 3/4?
Yeah.
Easy? 3/4? Okay, next one. What's your gut feeling on what to do here? So you don't know how to do this problem because I haven't taught you this yet. I heard it. Add 3, divide by 4. And you are absolutely right. So cosine of theta, you've got a 4 here. Get this 3 over. And then divide by 4. Now what do you think you're going to do? What do we do in that other problem? Square root both sides. Square root both sides. So you get cosine is equal to root 3 over 2. They are looking for what angle would this be? So draw a triangle. What angle would you be if the side adjacent over the hypotenuse is a root 3 over 2 ratio? What angle are you? What angle is this? What angle? It's 30. The 30 is opposite the 1. It's a 30. You guys gotta know those special triangles. 30. If this were root 3 and this were 1, it would be a 60. Okay, this is an easy one. What did I tell you tangent is equal to? This is what you have. Sine of theta over tangent of theta. What did I say another name for tangent is? Sine over cosine. This is really easy. Okay, now, if I gave you this fraction, 1/2 divided by 3/4, what would you do? You flip this one, you're going to write 1/2 times 4/3, right? 2 goes into 4, 2 times the answer is 2/3. So how do you're going to flip this? So you have sine over 1 divided by you're gonna flip this and make this cosine over sine. What happens to the sines? What's your answer? F. Okay, number 9. A large sail is being sewn for racing yacht is shown, here's our picture. Okay, which of the following is an expression that you could use to calculate the height h of the sail? So you've got this triangle right here, and I'm gonna redraw it right here. So this is h, this is 20 degrees, they gave it to you. What would this side be? 8. So what trig ratio using this angle and these two sides, it's definitely not sine or cosine because we don't have the hypotenuse. It's tangent. Tangent of 20 is side opposite over hypotenuse. If you were to cross multiply, you have h times tangent of 20, and I'm writing this out and you don't have to do this, and then divide by tangent of 20. So how would you solve this problem? By taking the number 8 and dividing it by tangent of 20, which is which letter? Okay, number 10, there's a typo in this problem. It says from the top of a 15,000 foot peak, so here's the straight line distance to the mountain. They wrote 14,009, but this is the actual, so that's a typo right there. So the height, the distance from here to here is actually 158,400. What would be the height of Mount Everest from here to here they want, this height right here? So using this picture, use the picture, not the problem was written wrong. How do you think you're gonna do this problem? What is really h? H is only from here to here. So how are we gonna figure h out using this angle, which is 5.074 degrees, sine. So the sine of 5.074, whoops, is equal to the side opposite over the hypotenuse. That's a 7. Okay, how do you do this problem? Make sure your calculator is in degree mode, everybody. So you're gonna hit on the, if you're using the Inspire, hit the sign button or the trig button, sign, and make sure your calculator is in degree mode. They are. And then make sure you jump out of that parenthesis when you hit multiply. If you don't, it's gonna multiply the sine of 5.074 times that other number, which is 158,400. So, what answer do you get for h? H is 14,009. That's one of the answers, and a lot of you guys will pick that for your answer, but is that the correct answer? You have to add 15,000 to that. What's the correct answer? Add 15,000, because read the question. It says they want to know how tall it's going to be J. 29,009. So you're going to add this plus the 15,000 right here to get J. Number 11. What are they asking you to do? Solve that triangle. You did this in geometry, I know you did. So, what does it mean to solve a triangle? It means to find all the sides and all the angles. So they're giving you that side A, and you always use the opposite letter as a smaller, so angle A is little a here. Big B here is little b here, opposite C. Okay, so 10, this is stuff you should know. Side C is 18.8. Okay, so what do we need to find? We need side B. How do you find side B?
Cosine C.
How do you find this side right here?
Cosine here.
10.6 squared plus B squared is 18.8 squared. So I don't even need to write this out, I can just use my calculator. 18.8, square that number, minus 10.6 squared, get an answer. And now you want to take the square root of that, so hit control, square root, and control the negative sign, that's the answer. And then I got 15.5. So, if side B is 15.5, what answers could I eliminate already? A is wrong, C is wrong, and D is wrong. So it's between these two. Now look at these two answers. What are the same? What's the same? Angle A is 34.4 degrees because these are the answers. So how could you figure out angle B? Easy, the easiest way. Yep, 90 minus, that would be the easiest way to do that one, and that's your answer B. That would be the easiest way. Otherwise, you have to use the inverse sign to figure out, and you guys know how to do that. How about 12? Number 12, they give you that side B is 4.8, and they give you angle A is 48 degrees. How would you figure out angle B? How do you figure out angle B, knowing that that's 48 and that's 90? What do you get? So angle B is 42 degrees. Which answers can you cross out? That one? That one? Okay, so now, what are you gonna do? Now I'm gonna use some trig. If I wanna find side C, I would probably use, okay, cosine of 48
Shouldn't we use C?
equals 4.8 over side C. So you can do C is equal to 4.8 over cosine of 48. There's many different ways you can do this problem. So I'm gonna do that one, what I have here, cosine, I'm gonna do this one, cosine of 48. So I like my fraction, I love this fraction key. I love that. So I'm gonna do 4.8 over, and then I'm gonna hit trig, cosine, 48, get out of the, and there's your answer, it's 7.2.
Where's the fraction key?
Fraction key is right here next to that little book. So hit that, and then the very first corner one is your fraction key. Okay? So I know that C, side C, is 7.2. So I can cross out that answer. Now, I know angle B is 42. Now I gotta figure out A. How are you gonna find A? So it's between these two. Which is A? I would use the Pythagorean theorem, and the answer is J. You could do the Pythagorean theorem, or you could do another trig ratio. And the trig ratio would be sine. I would do sine of 48 is equal to A over 7.2 and cross multiply, and you'll get the correct answer, J. Okay. Number 13. In this beautiful triangle ACB, C is the right angle in the middle. It says the sine of A, so the ratio to the side opposite to the hypotenuse, this is a 1:2 ratio. But then they say side B is 20. Well, I thought side BC was 1. No, they're talking about if you had another triangle, similar triangle, they're saying that this is side 20. So if these are similar, how would you figure out this side? I would use a proportion. I would say 1 is to 2 as 20 is to x. And if you cross multiply, you get x is 40. So, side BC is 40. I'm sorry, BA. Read it wrong. Usually it's ABC. BA is 40. So which of these can we cross out? That one, and that one. Okay, now, how do we figure out, now, these two are the same, right? These two are the same, so it's a difference of A or D. So angle B, is it 30 degrees or 60 degrees? Well, if you look at this problem, you're trying to find this angle right here. What trig ratio would you use? Cosine. The cosine of B is adjacent over, you don't even need a calculator. So what triangle, this is a 1:2 ratio. What angle are you? So that's what you would have, 1:2. What angle is this? This is a 60-degree angle. So the answer is D. Now, if you have a calculator, I would hit second cosine, you want that, or you hit cosine -1, whatever calculator, 1/2, and you'll get 60 degrees. So if you want to use your calculator. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So trig. So do trig, cosine, you want that button right there. And then do 1 divided by 2, enter, and there's your 60. Okay, I bet you got number 14 right, because we've killed this stuff. What does it mean when you have a number in front of any function? If it's greater than 1, it's a vertical stretch. So what's the answer here?
G.
G, yeah.
G, not B.
What if it were,
Index.
what if it were 1/3? It'd be a vertical compression, okay? Now, number 15. I don't think the correct answer is here. I think that, the way it's written, that should be a shift pi/2 units down. But since we have those 5 answers to choose from, I'm going to doctor this question up. And if I were to put parentheses around that, how would you answer it? It would be A, pi/2 units to the right. Excellent. So here is, I'm going to give you this problem. Y equals 2 cosine x minus pi/4 minus 3. Describe the transformations. That's, another name for that is amplitude. So that's, amplitude is the same as how high it is off the x-axis. So that, and we're doing that in chapter 7. Unfortunately, you're not gonna get to these graphs till after the test, but if you end up taking the ACT again, hopefully you don't have to, you'll understand how to graph these. You could actually type these in your calculator. And hopefully tomorrow I can show you how to do that. But this is a shift, a vertical stretch by a factor of 2. This would be pi/4 units to the right, and this would be 3 units down. Okay? I bet you there's going to be a transformation. But you can graph these. Now the only thing about this, when you see pi, it's in radians. You would have to convert your calculator to radians in order to graph this. But I'll show you before you guys take your test how to do this, because I bet you there's going to be a graph on your test. Okay, so that's that. The next is Kaplan. Pick up Kaplan.